So thanks for coming, everyone. Today we're going to talk about what exactly we do and also about our ongoing projects and what we're going to be working on in the next few weeks. Okay, so 89% of nonprofits view their approach to technology as ineffective. And essentially what Blueprint is going to try to attempt to do through our project and our work is to help reduce this statistic and help provide technology for nonprofits. Okay, so what it is that we do. So our mission statement is to make technology accessible and useful for those who assist communities and promote public welfare. So what this means is we'll build like applications and mobile apps for nonprofits to facilitate the work that they do. Yeah, so when we build applications for these nonprofits, we do it for free. And mostly we work with organizations in Southern California, but yeah. So here on this slide, we're going to talk a little bit about the history of Blueprint itself. So our founding chapter is at UC Berkeley, and we're actually the third ever Blueprint chapter, but now there's around 7, mostly across the US, but there's also a few chapters in Canada. Okay, so on the next slide, we're going to show our current team members. We currently have 13 members. Yeah, we're really excited to, grow our organization and hopefully have you guys join along with us. And now we're going to have our project leads explain the projects that we have.
Hey everyone, my name is Bill. I'm going to be the project lead for Project for Torture Victims. So a little bit about Project for Torture Victims. So basically, this is a short quote that we took directly from the website, but California is the asylum capital of the Americas. Every year, more than 100,000 human rights activists, war survivors, ethnic and religious minorities, gang cartel victims, LGBT survivors, and other displaced immigrants flee violence in their home countries to resettle in California. And part of their mission, basically, is these kind of 5 main ideas, but we believe that the main one that we can help with is helping with basic needs, such as food, housing, transportation, while we find a path to self-sufficiency. And I think this is also kind of the one that we also feel like is one of the most important ones. We have a problem. So while living in a foreign country, it's often really hard for survivors to find basic info about like living here, about like where to find transportation, food, shelter, basic legal resources. And so the solution that we came up with is a mobile app with kind of a list of these resources tailored to survivors, paired up with a web console for staff to curate and write these resources. The second problem that basically we thought of is that communication between PTV and PTV staff and survivors is too ad hoc and disorganized. So we wanted to create a centralized forum so everyone can post and answer questions, and questions that are kind of popular or that admins think will be useful for everyone. That way those questions and those answers to those questions can be shared more easily. So onto the project. So this project started around last winter, and we've been continuing working on it. So this is kind of partway built. But basically, what the tech stack looks like is that the mobile app is built using React Native. The web console is React, and we use Firebase as our cloud provider. And you see like all these technologies. I don't think all of these are being used, but basically, you'll get to work with software processes used in industry, at Amazon, at Facebook. And I think that you're going to learn a lot from our full stack devs. So if you're a developer, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of brush up on the common technologies that industry uses. And for designers, there's a couple of challenges that Program for Torture Victims kind of expressed to us that we want to tackle together. Stuff like having an uncluttered web UI for PTV staff. There's going to be a lot of features that we can put on web console, so this needs to be easy to navigate. Also, user permissions is very important. Not every feature should be available to everyone, specifically this like user and admin split. And if you join us as a designer, you're going to use kind of very industry standard software, stuff like Figma, as well as how to combine tech with design. Specifically, we're using Chill UI. So that's like also very common in industry. So we think that for designers, this is a great way to get experience designing like an app and a website that will actually be used by a nonprofit. So these are current wireframes built by a previous designer, Vivian. So we have a lot of wireframes, and a lot of them are complete. But we also have a lot of work to be done, specifically with UX, since we want to make sure that the users that we're catering to, specifically for the refugees and for the torture victims, that they have the best user experience available for them. They don't feel uncomfortable using the app. But yeah, look at these. I mean, these look great. So if you join us, we get to work on this beautiful app. All right, so here's a little sneak peek into our team for this past year. If you join, you'll get to meet most of these wonderful people, and we're going to hold socials. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to bond as a team. But yeah, excited for you guys to join.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm going to be the project lead for our second nonprofit project, Harmony Project. So from the Harmony Project website, it describes itself as an organization that harnesses the transformative power of music to increase access to higher education for underserved students by removing systematic barriers to achievement through academic and social support. So a little background on Harmony Project. From 2015 to 2017, LA County had the highest amount of children living under the poverty line in California. And 12.2% of these children don't graduate high school and are dissuaded from pursuing their career aspirations. And that's where Harmony Project steps in. It connects high quality music instruction and social support to these children year round at no cost, motivating them and cultivating potential. And so why did Harmony Project reach out to us? A lot of their students lack resources. For example, even the transportation to get to these lessons or finding time to be available is rough. And so it generates an overall lack of engagement. And so our solution is to create a virtual classroom through a mobile application that gives these students this flexibility. Instructors will have the ability to post assignments and lessons, and students can upload audio or video recordings of their practices of these assignments, and this instructor will be able to provide feedback so that these students can learn and grow. So developers, much like PTV, we will be using React Native and Node.js and Git. So you have a lot of opportunities to learn how to not just be a CS student, but a software developer. We're also going to be using Firebase for our to store user and app data. So designers will be working on user flows and wireframes, working to ensure that both instructors and students can give and receive dynamic feedback to help them with the music learning process. You'll also be working with Harmony Project's branding guide, following the color palette and other things. The main software that our designers use is Figma, and so you'll get a lot of experience working with, like Bill said, industry level software. So these are some of our wireframes we have right now. On the left, you see the assignment screen. So students can see which assignments have been submitted or graded. We also have evaluations that allow the students to see exactly what the instructor wants them to work on, along with classrooms and assignment, the overall assignment pages. So what will your impact be? Harmony Project's mission statement is to allow all students, regardless of income, background, or zip code, have equal access to opportunities to make music and the resources needed to thrive in college and beyond. Harmony Project currently has 3,500 active participants and 120 professional instructors. And you're going to help connect students to instructors to help them develop the skills that they'll need for their future and beyond. And so this is a picture of last year's team. We all had a lot of fun, and I'm excited to meet more people who will be part of this team in the future.
Great, so moving on to our final project, we have our project for the nonprofit Farm to People. So I'm one of the project leads. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Vivian, and I am the design lead for Farm to People. So basically, the mission statement Farm to People has is to connect farmers to food recovery and relief organizations, bringing fresh, nutritious food to people in need. So a bit of background, due to COVID-19, the food supply chain was disrupted. Farm to People was formed in April 2020 in response to it, and the goal is to address the problem that we are all witnessing with the food supply chain and to form a more resilient food system for the future.
So as Vivian previously alluded to, the main problem that that a lot of individuals are facing right now is that COVID-19 has disrupted supply chain distribution channels between farmers and food insecure community members. And that's when Farm to People steps in. Farm to People hopes to ameliorate these current issues in the disruption of the supply chain distribution channels between farmers and high need community members. But it's currently restricted in facilitating food distribution through manual processes. So our solution to this problem is a web application that has two primary use cases. The first use case is to facilitate an online marketplace, and the second use case is to establish a communication pathway between farmers and local food providers. For developers, the tech stack that you would be working on for the client-side website would be React, and for the back end, we would be utilizing Airtable and Firebase.
For designers, since we will start this project soon, well, after like user research, you can choose between like a variety of like design programs, but we usually like prefer Figma. It has a lot more like usability in terms of handing off to developers. Basically, we want to design a website that will help like farmers showcase their crops and where relief agencies can place an order. So yes, your impact would be advocating for accessibility of produce for individuals facing food insecurity. And here's a picture of some people in Farm to People's current team.
So what you'll gain, first and foremost, a family. Vivian and I will really be there for you, and we'll really be focused on making community building and your experience as wonderful as possible. Because at the end of the day, we really care about your well-being and how you grow as an individual and as a developer or designer. Also, this incredible platform to pursue tech-based social advocacy. I know I can personally relate to this. Coming into UCLA, I saw the pursuit of social advocacy and the creative process of technology to be these completely disparate things. And if you join our team or Blueprint in general, you have this amazing capacity to merge the intersection of these two pursuits that you might be really invested in. And lastly, creative agency and ownership. As some of you may or may not know, Farm to People is our newest nonprofit that we're working on. And so as such, we're literally creating an infrastructure, implementing and architecting the design choices and tech choices from scratch. So if you join our team, you'll have this amazing opportunity to really work on hard issues from the ground up. And Vivian and I will be there to support you every step of the way. And lastly, sorry, Bill, we borrowed your picture because Vivian and I were previously on PTV, but this could be you. So imagine yourself, your face on top of the smiley face or the winky face emojis. Yeah, this could be you.
Yeah, huge thank you to our project leads for presenting. And so just to give you a brief timeline of sort of how things are going to run. So our projects run from fall to spring every year. And so around November is when we'll have our teams formed after recruitment is finished. And then at the beginning or mid of February, we have our first MVP delivery. And then this will also be a time to demo your work both internally to the club and also get a chance for the nonprofit to see what we've been working on. And then finally in May, we will deliver the products and officially hand it off to the nonprofit. But yeah, we hope that this was sort of a good presentation into what Blueprint is, and we really hope that you join Blueprint. So as a reminder, here are some of our values. So we strive to be innovative, and we want our members to be innovative as well, both in design decisions and sort of an approach to a problem, but also when implementing all the functionalities that we have to do for the apps that we build. Additionally, we strive to build for the best quality products. And so regarding that, we always try to make sure that we're building the best that we can, and then that we're building bug-free apps so that when we deliver these to the nonprofits, they could be successfully handed off. And lastly, our biggest one is probably community. We really strive to create a collaborative environment within Blueprint, and we hope that our members share the same principles by helping each other whenever anyone's stuck or just down, or whenever people are just down to hang out. But yeah, so in terms of what you'll gain as a developer, so in terms of experience, we'll gain valuable experience in an agile team with real people using your applications. So we have like sprint checkups every so weekend just to check on progress and making sure that things are on task and providing you the necessary support for our developers. Additionally, you'll be working with designers and building a cohesive product that eventually will be deployed to nonprofits. You can interact with modern technologies used by many companies today, such as React, Firebase, Airtable, React Native. And yeah, most importantly, you'll make an impact for what you'll contribute. In terms of what you'll gain from a designer point of view, so we're doing lots of user research, lots of user testing and interviews for this year. We're making our development process way more design driven and taking into considerations based on what the user needs. Additionally, you'll be creating wireframes, mockups, prototypes following this design thinking process of user testing and user research. You'll have your design seen and utilized by real users. So we want people that are being serviced by these nonprofits to actually have their hands on the apps that we're building. And again, you'll be working closely with developers to make sure that your sort of visions for the application comes alive. And yeah, lastly, you'll be making an impact onto the community aspect as well. But yeah, so if you want to join Blueprint, we really recommend that you apply. So you can follow that link, bit.ly.com/LA Blueprint Fall 2020 applications. And yeah, follow us on our socials to stay updated. Yeah, that concludes our presentation. So we'll be opening the floor for questions now. So yeah, feel free to ask in the chat or unmute yourself if you have any questions to ask.
What would you say is the general time commitment per week if we were to join a project?
So yeah, that's a good question. So I would say it varies per team. But generally, we're expecting, in terms of like team structure, your team will either be having like work sessions or just like sprint checkups. So we'd imagine probably be around like 10 to 15 hours a week just to ensure that we're building the best quality apps that we can. About how many new members? So there's a question asked in the chat about how many new members are we looking to recruit this quarter? So yeah, we're looking up to fill up our teams so we get the proper support and development that we need. So I think we're recruiting about 15 more people to join our club, give or take a few, just so our teams get the proper support they need. Some more questions asked in the chat. Is your info session on Thursday the same one? Yes, we'll be presenting the same info session in case you guys want to ask more questions that either came up during this one and maybe you just want to ask some clarifying questions. Yeah, it'll be basically the same content. Another question that was asked, is fall the only recruitment cycle? So yeah, we're planning on only recruiting during the fall, mainly because recruitment does take a lot of resources and a lot of time away from the development process. And we want to give like the maximum time that we can to our teams to develop our products. Another question that was asked, do we get to choose which projects we get to work on? Does someone else want to answer that question?
I'll answer.
Okay.
All right, Bill.
Go ahead.
No, Bill can. Oh yeah, for sure. So midway into fall quarter, we're gonna send out this small little like application-esque thing where you can write your project preferences and speak towards it, why you want to join whatever project you want to join. And then from there, we'll try our best to select the team that you prefer or that best fits the needs of our work.
Okay. Yeah, another question that was asked, are we accepting beginners or are we looking for more experienced developers? Bill, do you want to answer that?
Sure. Yeah. So we encourage everyone to apply. It would definitely be helpful if like you had some experience, but I think we're like open to anyone as long as you're passionate and willing to like put in the time. But definitely like we encourage everyone to apply. Yeah, I think that's the short answer.
Okay, great. Another question that was asked, are freshmen welcome to apply if we have some experience? And yeah, so that sort of ties into the previous one. Apply if you're interested, and above all, yeah, we're really looking for people that are passionate about our cause. Another question, I've already applied, but I never got a confirmation email. Were we supposed to give one? So I don't think Airtable sends over confirmation emails, but I think we did receive your application. So if you want to check again, feel free to email us at team@lablueprint.org, and then we could send you like a confirmation if you're wondering.